Since Donald Trump's re-election, relations between Canada and the United States have sharply declined. What began as trade disputes escalated into one of the most hostile periods in recent memory, largely driven by Trump's incendiary rhetoric and a stark pivot in American foreign policy toward Canada. Immediately after his victory, Trump stunned both supporters and detractors by suggesting the annexation of Canada during a December 2024 meeting with then Prime Minister Justin Trudeau at Mar-a-Lago. Trump reportedly joked that Canada could avoid U.S. tariffs by becoming the 51st state. Eyewitnesses say he mockingly addressed Trudeau as Governor Justin Trudeau of the great state of Canada, a comment confirmed by White House insiders, which disturbed even some of Trump's own allies. The situation intensified rapidly. On December 18th, Trump posted on Truth Social, "Lots of Canadians, great folks, smart folks, are saying they'd be better off as part of the USA. Lower taxes, better economy, rail health care. Maybe it's time for Canada to be the 51st state." The post featured a photo of hockey legend Wayne Gretzky over a U.S. flag, suggesting Gretzky should become governor of the new state. By January, the rhetoric turned into action. On January 7th, Trump declared that the U.S. would annex Canada economically, asserting that Canada relied more on the U.S. than the reverse. He then shared a digitally altered map merging both countries under one flag, captioned, "Oh Canada, now our Canada." On February 1st, Trump slapped a 25% tariff on all Canadian imports, citing questionable national security concerns involving drugs and immigration. Speaking in North Carolina, he claimed, "If Canada becomes part of the U.S., guess what? No border problems, no tariffs, lower taxes, better health care, NAFTA solved forever. Everybody wins, especially them." Canadian officials viewed this as a blatant attack on their sovereignty. Trudeau, facing mounting pressure, called Trump's comments deeply offensive and vowed to defend Canada's independence. Still, hostilities escalated. In a pre-Super Bowl interview on February 9th, Trump reiterated, "Canada would be lucky to be our 51st state. Ask anyone, more jobs, more security. If they want it, I'll make it happen." By March 2025, the new tariffs were fully in effect, triggering Canada's retaliation and plunging North America into a trade war not seen in modern times. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has made a series of provocative and controversial statements about Canada and its political environment, often sparking public backlash and debate. His commentary, primarily shared through his social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter, has ranged from political jabs to broader criticisms of Canada's economic systems. In November 2024, Musk stirred political controversy by responding to a user's post asking for help in removing Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Musk confidently replied, "He will be gone in the upcoming election," signaling his opposition to Trudeau's leadership. Just a month later, in December, Musk escalated his rhetoric, referring to Trudeau as an insufferable tool in response to the Prime Minister's comments linking Kamala Harris's electoral defeat to broader setbacks in women's rights. Musk's dismissal of Trudeau's stance suggested deep disapproval not only of the leader himself, but also of his political narratives. Following Trudeau's resignation announcement in January 2025, Musk again took to X, stating, "2025 is looking good," a comment widely interpreted as his approval of the Prime Minister's departure. Around the same time, Musk directly addressed Trudeau in another post mocking his assertion of Canada's sovereignty in the face of discussions around potential U.S. annexation. Musk wrote, "Girl, you're not the governor of Canada anymore, so it doesn't matter what you say," a statement criticized by many for its dismissive and gendered tone. Musk's commentary has not been limited to political figures. On March 4th, 2025, he criticized the economic relationship between the U.S. and Canada, calling out what he described as an imbalance in banking regulations. Canadian banks can operate at scale in the U.S., but U.S. banks are not allowed to operate at scale in Canada, which Musk referred to as controlled opposition. He framed Canada as protectionist and economically unfair. The tensions between Musk and segments of the Canadian public came to a head when over 250,000 Canadians signed a petition seeking to revoke his Canadian citizenship, citing his repeated undermining of the country's institutions and national interests. In response, Musk controversially posted, "Canada is not a real country," a statement he later deleted, but which added fuel to the fire. Canada has since taken significant steps against Tesla Incorporated, including freezing all rebates, payments to the electric vehicle manufacturer, and barring it from future electric vehicle rebate programs. This decision, announced by Transport Minister Chrystia Freeland on March 25, 2025, is a direct response to the illegitimate and illegal tariffs imposed by the United States on Canadian goods. Immediate actions and rationale: suspension of payments. All pending rebate payments to Tesla have been halted. Freeland emphasized that no payments will be made until each claim undergoes an individual investigation to confirm its validity. The Transport Department has been directed to amend eligibility criteria for future incentives for zero-emission vehicle programs. This revision aims to exclude Tesla vehicles from qualifying for incentives as long as the U.S. tariffs remain in place. The Canadian government has frozen approximately 43 million Canadian dollars, about 30.11 million US dollars, in rebate payments intended for Tesla. This action was taken prior to Prime Minister Mark Carney's announcement of a general election scheduled for April 28. Concerns over rebate claims. Reports have surfaced regarding an unusual surge in rebate claims by Tesla. Notably, a Tesla dealership in Quebec City filed for nearly 20 million Canadian dollars in public subsidies, documenting over 4,000 electric vehicle sales in a single weekend. This prompted scrutiny over the legitimacy of these claims. Several Canadian provinces and cities have recently amended their electric vehicle rebate policies, specifically affecting Tesla vehicles. These changes are largely in response to escalating trade tensions between Canada and the United States, particularly concerning tariffs imposed by the U.S. administration. Effective March 1, 2025, the City of Toronto implemented a policy change ending financial incentives for Tesla vehicles used in taxi and ride-sharing services. This move marked a significant shift in the city's approach to promoting electric vehicles in the public transportation sector. Mayor Olivia Chow explained that the decision was a direct response to escalating tensions in Canada-U.S. trade relations, particularly following U.S. President Donald Trump's implementation of tariffs on Canadian goods and his inflammatory remarks challenging Canada's sovereignty. Citing these developments, Chow stated that while individuals are still free to purchase Tesla vehicles, the city would no longer use public funds to subsidize them. She emphasized that in light of the current political and economic climate, Toronto would not support companies perceived to be aligned with policies or figures undermining Canadian interests. The province of British Columbia has removed Tesla products, including vehicles and charging equipment, from its electric vehicle rebate programs, signaling a shift in its support for American-made EVs. According to the provincial government, the policy change is part of a broader effort to prioritize Canadian-made goods and reduce reliance on U.S. products where possible. This move comes amid rising tensions between Canada and the United States, particularly surrounding trade disputes and political friction. Officials stated that in the current climate, Public funds should be directed towards supporting domestic industries and fostering greater economic independence rather than subsidizing products from companies based in countries engaged in adversarial trade practices. Nova Scotia's legislature has unanimously voted to exclude Tesla vehicles from the province's electric vehicle rebate program, which previously offered subsidies ranging from $2,000 to $3,000 per purchase. The decision marks a rare moment of cross-party agreement in provincial politics and reflects growing unease over Tesla's perceived alignment with contentious U.S. policies. Susan LeBlanc, a member of the legislature representing the New Democratic Party, explained that the exclusion is a direct response to statements and actions by Tesla CEO Elon Musk, which many in the province view as supportive of U.S. economic policies that are increasingly hostile toward Canada. LeBlanc emphasized that consumers still have access to a variety of other electric vehicle options, including those manufactured by companies that better reflect Canadian economic and political values. Manitoba has officially removed Tesla vehicles from its electric vehicle rebate program, which offers up to $4,000 for eligible EV purchases. In addition to excluding Tesla, the province also barred electric vehicles manufactured in China from qualifying for the incentive. Finance Minister Adrian Sulla stated that the decision reflects Manitoba's broader commitment to responding firmly to recent U.S. economic actions that negatively impact Canada. By refining the rebate program, the provincial government aims to ensure that public funds support vehicles aligned with Canada's economic interests and values. Tesla's CEO Elon Musk is recognized as a close ally of